Five picks, one chick, and a cat. Welcome back. You're listening to Five Picks and a Chick featuring El Gato, the podcast that gives you five NFL picks for people who love football and friendly wagering. Hey, El Gato, I know we say this all the time. Some call it betting, but what do we call it?
We call it bonding. Yeah, that's all
Yeah,
we
we
do.
did a lot of bonding this past weekend in Las Vegas, didn't we?
We did. We met some very nice people, several locations. Paris Piano Bar, we met a couple of ladies, Carrie and Millie, right?
Yep,
Enjoying
yep.
music. The entertainment there was uplifting. It was exciting. It got everyone dancing and moving, and it was a lot of fun.
It was, it was. Have you recovered?
Barely. I'm barely, getting my legs, and I've been back 4 days now. So, but yeah, I mean, it took a while, because you're out there and, long hours, long days, the diet, eating habits go to hell, right? We're eating so bad,
Yep.
drinking all kinds of things, doing all sorts of other stuff. And then you come back to reality, right? To the normal life. And
Yep.
takes a while to get going, at least a
Yep.
couple of days.
It does. Hey, I highly recommend Guy Fieri's brunch
Oh my God.
Monday through Friday for
Oof.
19.99, all you can eat. It was really, really good. So I'm
Yeah.
glad we found out about that because we hit that up a couple of times and it was
Yeah. It
worth
was
it.
It was so delicious. I mean, that brunch, you think about it, costs maybe $5 more than a McDonald's breakfast, for
Yeah,
example.
so true.
And then yeah, but then you have the quality food and then the morning margaritas that we had to match, and it was a
And
good
the
start to the.
bartenders. Yeah, the bartenders were really cool too. So at the link, highly recommend Guy Fieri's.
There you go.
Yep. Hey, so today we're breaking down our best five picks, give some stats behind them, why we like our games, and hopefully they come through this Sunday. So, no special guest today. It's just you and me.
Yeah.
Last week, Gato, I did not do real bad, but it wasn't the record that I would like to talk about. I went
Yeah.
2-3.
Yeah.
My season record is 15 wins, 15 losses. So I'm right there, 50%. You went 3-2. You're at 17 wins, 13 losses, and you're at 57%. So you're doing really well. You are above that mark that we want to be at.
I mean, there were some close games. I mean, each one of us could have gone either way. I know we lost, not related to five picks and a chick, but amongst our group betting, we lost some close ones also. But God, that's the way the NFL is. Fourth quarter possessions, last possessions. But I mean, we're here one third of the way through the season, and you're right at 50. I'm a little bit above 50. So yeah, we just have to keep
Keep
doing the
going.
best, and keep going, moving forward.
Yep. Yep. I can't believe we are talking about week 7
Mm, already.
already. Well, my first pick is going to be Giants at the Broncos. Broncos are giving 7, so that's -7. Denver is coming back home after squeaking out 2 wins. They do bring the number 2 defense into this game. One person I do want to mention is Nick Bonito. He had a great game this past weekend. He is the NFL sack leader. This game should be too much to overcome for the young Giants team and their rookie quarterback, Jackson Dart. But I love him as a quarterback. I think he's going to be really good in the NFL. But I just don't know that they're going to be good enough to beat the Broncos, much less cover the spread. And they are getting 7. Who do you like in this game, El Gato?
You know, the Broncos the last couple of games. I mean, they did pull out a good victory in Philly, right? Philadelphia Eagles, but we kind of know what the Eagles are now, right? They were barely getting by, as we found out, against the Giants. Or are the Giants just a tougher team right now than the Eagles? Eagles seem to be leaking offensively. Their defense is not as stout as they were at the start of the season, but they're still a quality team. But they just have to get some things right with that, on both sides of the ball. Giants, to your point, I mean, they've got Dart at quarterback. He's changed that team around. They got Scadaboo and another running back that very exciting. I mean, they get their yards, they get their third down conversions. We saw what the Giants did against the Eagles, just really tore them apart. This will be a pretty good task for the Giants to go to the Broncos and try to get a victory. Defense always travels, always plays well, especially at home. I'm thinking this will be a bounce back game for the Broncos where, they maybe get some things right on offensively because they didn't perform well against the Jets in London, I think, or Ireland, Dublin, I forget where they played. It was overseas. It was in
Right,
Europe. They
right.
just didn't perform
London.
well offensively. I don't know what they did in the second half. It was pretty much nothing. But I think they cover the 7. I think Nick's and his receivers and the run game gets going, and that defense, they'll try to focus, and maybe Bonita at that defensive end position will apply pressure on Dart and shut him down. So I'll take Broncos -7.
All right. Hey, my second pick is going to be Green Bay at Arizona. Arizona is plus 6.5. And I'm going with Arizona in this game. Arizona has lost 4 in a row, but those 4 losses are by a combined 9 points.
Mm.
So it's very close. They should be getting Kyler Murray back after sitting out last week. So I do think he is going to be quarterback. Green Bay has not covered a spread since week 2, all against weak opponents. Who
Mm.
do you like in this game, El Gato?
I went with Green Bay last week on a big spread, and at one point it seemed like they were on their way to cover. I think Bengals backdoored covered that one, but it seems like Green Bay at that point, maybe through the third quarter, was not playing to lose, just trying to run the clock and just playing to their competition, which was the Bengals, right? The Bengals haven't played well all year.
Yeah,
I'm thinking this game, they're going to have to start trying to get some momentum going to propel them to the next third of the season, kind of establish themselves in that division, try to pull away from the Vikings and the Bears. And they've got to do something defensively to quit, giving up so many yards the way they have been
yeah.
against the Cowboys, right? They gave away some good yards against the Bengals. I think if they can shut down uh, Kyler, if he is going to play, and then get their offensive line and running game going. I'm talking about Green Bay now. I think covering 6.5 will be an easy task. I'm looking at a 10-point victory here, somewhere in that range. So I'll take Green Bay -6.5.
All right. Hey, my third pick is going to be Houston at Seattle. Seattle -3. I'm going with Seattle in this game. Houston seems like they have turned their season around a little bit, but their 2-game winning streak was against 2 of the worst teams in the league. So we'll see. We'll see if they continue. But I'm still going to go with Seattle -3. Going into Seattle on Monday night will be a tough task for the Houston Texans. It's interesting. Seattle is 2-8 in the last 10 home games, which is completely unusual for Seattle
Mm.
because back in the day they used to say, man, you go into Seattle, it's tough to play there. They've got that 12th man going. But in this game, I think Seattle's going to do okay. I think they're going to turn their home games around. I see them winning and covering in this game. What are your thoughts?
I see them. Yeah, to your point, I see them dominating this game. I mean, at -3 at home. Think about that. With Seattle's, I mean, they have good quarterback play with Darnold, right? They have a
Hmm.
solid run game. They have a solid offensive line, adequate receivers. They've got that young receiver. I'm thinking, is he coming back from injury? I hope he is. And then they got the defense to back up the offense to, play some complementary football. Houston, of course, they're on a two-game winning streak, but against some, bottom tier offensive statistic teams, and they still got some issues on the offensive line. They really can't get anything consistent going. So with Seattle's front four defensive end rushing a good defensive backs, defending the back end. It's going to be some tough sledding for Stroud and Houston. Looking probably at a 10-point 10-point win here in like a 23-13 game, 23-10 game, something like that. So that's enough for Seattle to cover. So I'll take the Seattle -3.
All right. Hey, you got a fourth pick for us?
I've got a couple of picks, and one team that I've been following here kind of the last 2 or 3 weeks has been the Patriots.
Oh, yeah.
Now, they're leading the AFC East. Amazing, right? With the Bills
Yep.
there, and you've also have well the Ravens. I was going to say, but they're in the AFC North. But the Bills were projected to run away with that with that division with the Patriots as an improved team this year, making some strides. But they've played some good football here the last couple of weeks. They beat the Bills, although the Bills have run into a little buzzsaw here with a 2-game losing streak. But still, you just have to deal with Josh Allen at the quarterback spot. They still beat him. And then they had a nice little victory at Saints, right? They beat them handily. They're playing against the Titans. They've only won one game on a fluke play, towards the end of the game, late
Yep.
third quarter into the fourth quarter. You got Grable going back to Tennessee, where he was let go last year, fired. Was it his fault he was fired? Well, maybe, maybe not. But he's going to go back, and he's a proud coach, a proud ex-player, ex-Super Bowl winner. So he's going to want to make a statement, as all players and all competitors want to do. Right when you get let go by a team, you want to go back and improve yourself.
Yep.
I think if the Patriots have time to pour on the score, I think they'll score 30, 38 points on this team if they can.
Oh,
So I'm going to take Patriots -7 in a rout.
yep. Yep. Me too. I'm going with you on this one, taking the Patriots all day long. Tennessee is a mess right now. They just fired their head coach.
Yeah.
We're week 7, and New England is hot. They are the hot team. New England is coming in hot off 3 wins in a row. They are actually ranked ahead of the Bills in the AFC East, only because they beat the Bills.
Yeah.
So Drake May is playing really well.
He
Like
is,
you
isn't he?
said, yeah, he is playing very well. He and Vrabel, I think, are going to come into this game, and it could get ugly in this game. It
Yeah.
could get ugly.
Yeah, it could get away really, really quick.
Yeah, they
To your point,
see Tennessee as a wounded team right now, so they're gonna probably put it to them. And good, good, they should. So I'm
you
gonna
know,
go with
to,
you.
to your point of the Titans losing their coach, I know we've said this before, but and it goes on all levels of sports. The two things can happen when a coach is let go and fired like this. The team could either circle the wagons and galvanize and move forward and perform well, or I know these are professional football players, professional athletes, or they can say, you know what, man, this where are we going? We're
Yeah,
just spinning our wheels. We have no leadership. We may just have to coach ourselves through the rest of this season. It's a long season, and they could just tank. I know a lot of professional teams don't do that, but sometimes you just start making some business decisions, right? You don't go for that extra effort.
yeah,
Stick your head in there, make that tackle, and this may turn into that type of game, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
yeah. And you're right. Some teams, like when they lose their head coach mid-season, they either come back and really want to play well
Yeah,
for any kind of new incoming coach that might be coming in,
yeah,
and then some just don't. But I think it would be hard for this Tennessee team to do that, given that they have a rookie quarterback. Maybe if
yeah.
it was
True.
maybe a more seasoned quarterback, I could see them coming back and really playing hard and
Yeah,
even maybe winning the game. But with a rookie quarterback at the helm, I just don't see them doing that. So
yeah.
New England Patriots all day long.
Good point.
Got a fifth pick for us, Elgato?
Yeah, I've got another pick, Falcons and 49ers. I've been going back and forth. When I saw this posted, I said, man, this is going to be a delicious football game. It should be a good game. We got the 49ers, right, leading their
Yep.
division with half of their starters, it seems like, missing, right? That
Yeah.
just that just points to how different organizations gather and get their players motivated and to play, and it's like next man up, right? And
Yep.
that's the way it's been for the 49ers. This next man up. They've lost, I think, a couple more players this last week, starters to injury. One of them is a starter linebacker, I believe. The other is comes in off the bench, nickelback or some other player in the defensive backfield. So this makes them a little weaker defensively, which they were already. Offensively, though, they still, I don't know how Mac Jones is moving that football with the limited talent. It seems, at least on paper, it seems like it's limited. But they're doing what they have to. They still have McCaffrey in the backfield. Excuse me. Falcons, though, they're coming off a solid win over the Bills. They lost early on at Tampa, and after that, dismal performance against Carolina, where they were just shut out 30-0, 35-0, something to that. They've come back strong this last 2 or 3 weeks. So got Bijan running the ball like crazy, catching passes out of the backfield. You got Penix spinning the ball to his wide receivers, his tight ends. The other back, Algier, I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. But they're moving the ball offensively. They've got a solid defensive line, one or two ranked defensive in the league. So they should be able to take care of business against the 49ers. At least they should. At least, you know what? That's what I said a few weeks ago when the 49ers were wounded playing at the Rams, who were at that time a very hot team, right?
Yeah.
And what did the 49ers go do? I mean, they make a tremendous stop at the 1 yard line, cause a fumble to prevent the Rams from scoring, and they steal that victory. Will this happen against the Falcons? I hope not, because I'm going to go with the Falcons plus 1.5.
Yeah, I'm going with you with the Falcons plus 1.5. They're getting the points. Yeah, I
Yeah.
read somewhere online when I was doing some reading about these games. Someone put, well, when the 49ers play, they have to have extra ambulances ready to go. And it's sad, but it's true because
It's
they
true.
they have so many injured players
Yeah.
and it's sad. I feel bad for them, but hey, that's what happens.
Mm.
Hopefully they can get some of their better players back and can start playing better ball. I read I think maybe Purdy might be coming back. I'm not sure
Mm.
about that.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe, but San Francisco struggles to put up points.
Yeah.
And of course, that has to do with a lot of their injured players, you know, a lot of players being out because of injuries. Atlanta is starting to find more consistency in their
Mhm.
offense, and they have the number one overall defense, which should help them on the road in this
Yep.
game. And you mentioned Bijan Robinson. Man, he has been playing so good. And I love Bijan. He's a Longhorn product, so I'm a fan of Bijan Robinson. Atlanta also had a great victory over the Bills. So that should help them, like give them that momentum to beat San Francisco. I think they're going to beat them outright. There's no cover or anything about it.
Wow.
Um,
Good.
and you know what? San Francisco, they still have some of their best players like Warner and Bosa out. So
Hmm.
it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for San
Yeah.
Francisco to do anything against the Atlanta Falcons, especially since Atlanta Falcons come into this game pretty hot. So
Yeah. Yeah. They come in with confidence, but
confident.
anything can happen. It's a week-to-week league in the NFL,
Yeah.
and to my point earlier, if they show up against like they did against Carolina, they won't have a chance. But now that they tasted that bitter defeat, because that was just ugly, right?
Yeah.
They come back 2 solid weeks, and now they have to keep winning just to keep up with Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are just, we saw, what they did last week to the 49ers, right? They played the
Yeah.
49ers, and
Yeah.
talking about a team who has injuries. I mean, that team offensively, they're playing with third string players, but they have that next man up mentality. They know the playbook. They're executing. I'm going to get off here on a little tangent, but this game, Tampa Bay and the Lions, this coming NFL Sunday, is that a Sunday night game or is that the late afternoon game? I mean, it should be a primetime game because it's going to be a street fight. I'm thinking
Yeah.
you got two strong defensive minded teams, right? You
Yep.
got Golf on one side, you got Baker on the other side that won't let his team quit or won't let him lose until the clock says zeros, right? It's going to be a fantastic game. I can't hardly wait to watch that game.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some good games this weekend. Looking forward to them. Hey, do you have a lock for us?
The lock, as far as our picks are concerned, I mean, I'm going to have to go with the Seahawks at home against Houston. That's got to be, if they can't win that game at home against that team, meaning the Houston Texans, with as poorly as an offensive line that they have, with a subpar running game, if they can't pull out a victory against Houston, then man, they've got more problems than I thought they did.
Yeah.
Talking
Yeah.
about the Seahawks. So the Seahawks should take care of business. That'll be my lock of the week.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. All right, El Gato. Well, any final thoughts?
Well, here we are, 1/3 of the season gone. We had a long, fun weekend away from our hometowns in the sports capital of the world in Las Vegas, which, I mean, we saw wall to wall football both. Well, we saw Thursday, right?
Thursday.
Friday.
Yeah.
We saw something on Friday, all day Saturday with some college. And then the best day, which was NFL Sunday, was, from we started early that morning, didn't we?
Started 6 a.m. Yeah, because it was the London game.
Wow.
Yep. And then went through Sunday night football.
It was so much fun.
It was. It was. I know you
Yeah.
left a
So,
little earlier, but we had two Monday night games to watch.
yeah, two Monday night games. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be just another typical NFL Sunday where there'll be some surprises like there always is, right? And
Yep.
then we're going to have the games that we thought maybe were going to be close, but then it turns out that the team that should dominate, dominates, and we'll see. Because I mean, now it's just that time of year where teams are, separation, right? They're going to try to create some separation between that first and second, and then second place teams in each division, just trying to keep up with who's on top, right? So
Yeah.
every play matters, every possession matters now, for
So
sure.
many things will change. So I saw on TV Stephen A. Smith, he had Tampa Bay as the best team. He had Indy number two, and he had the Chiefs number three. He had no Bills. He had five, but he had no Bills and he had no Eagles, surprisingly, in his
No
top five
Packers either. No
top five
Packers.
teams. You know,
No Seattle.
nope, he had the Patriots number five. I can't remember who the fourth one was, but yeah, that kind of surprised me. I'm like, but people are so knee jerk sometimes. So anyway,
That's the way sports is, though, right? I mean,
yeah.
yeah, I find myself guilty of that too.
Yeah, me too. All right. Hey, thanks to our listeners. Hit the subscribe and like button on our YouTube channel. And good luck this weekend. And if
Good
not,
luck.
there's always next week. So make sure to join us for some new picks. As always, thank you to Gato for being part of Five Picks and a Chick. One, two, three, bet.
Bet.
And that's right.
It's a wrap.